Okay, so recently there's been a video that has come out in regards to Tyler Oliveira and kind of exposing his whole facade. I don't know. Tyler Oliveira is a weird person. I've covered him probably twice on this channel, but he has been a political interviewer that's been seeing a lot of growth recently. He's been getting like millions of views every single episode, like every single video that he does. He's really just the worst, honestly. He's a right-wing, to say the very least, street interviewer who talks about politics in a sort of way that, like, it just allows, the most insane people in the world just to say whatever they want without any pushback, and really just tries to do a lot of disingenuous framing on issues. But all that kind of gets covered in this video by Vince Vintage that we're going to react to today. This is probably going to be like a multiple parts. Well, I'm going to make it one big video, but I don't have a lot of time right now to react, so we're just going to watch as much as we can.
Now this here is Tyler Oliveira, YouTuber turned investigative journalist. With 7 million subscribers, Tyler's had quite a bit of impact on the world, with hit videos such as cat-eating Haitians in Springfield,
We've seen that one.
Ohio, or neo-Nazis uprising in Germany. His investigative work...
And here's the thing, is that I think he tries to portray himself as like this middle ground sort of guy, but like he does a lot of tactics to try to paint a narrative before an audience can really make up their mind, like the thumbnails alone. But I remember like in his Haitian video, he like put a little caption on a corner of an AI video that was getting passed around of Haitians bringing cats in vans and shit like that was being passed around on like Facebook, whatever. It was like, clearly this is AI. But even then, like even with the placement of where that text was, it wasn't like the center. It wasn't like in a place that would draw a lot of attention. And even if it was good natured, there's still plenty of stuff in this video that, well, not this video, but in that Haitian cat video that he just completely let slide without pushing back on.
Work into hot button political situations reaches hundreds of millions of people. Now, while Tyler claims his videos raise awareness of the problems in our world,
we are informing people about current events, topics that the broader public needs to be aware of.
We're informing people by just letting random people, the most insane people you will ever meet, just go off on their little racist tirades. Like in that Haitian video, there was a guy who called black people like sand N-words. Like saying, like he was saying like racist shit, and Tyler didn't push back at all. He was just kind of like snickering to himself. He was like, oh my god, he said this incredibly racist thing. Yeah, he's just informing people. That's all he's doing.
Than that he's YouTubified news and journalism.
YouTubified traditional.
Like, even also in that video, like, again, he just doesn't push back. He just lets people say whatever. That's not what journalism is. That's why I call him an interviewer, because he likes to call himself a journalist, but he's not. He just asks people, like, very basic questions. Like, he's not even a good interviewer. Like, he's barely a journalist, and he's not even that good at giving interviews, but he likes to say that he's like very, out there. And I think the reason why he's getting as much traction as he does is A, he pushes a lot of right-wing narrative that does really well on social media, unfortunately, and also it's just very like lazy schlock content. It's just asking someone basic questions while someone films you and just recording whatever they say. That's it. Like, he's not doing investigative journalism. He's not trying that hard. They're not, like, all the questions he asks aren't exactly, like, new or creative. Or, again, he doesn't push back on any of the things that people say. It's just completely asinine to think that for him to think of himself as like reinventing the game.
News and documentary content.
Yeah. And while his fans state that
because like there's been plenty of people who have done that before him, like YouTubified the news. There's been plenty of people who have done that before him. So for him to think that he's like this revolutionary figure now, when he like before this was doing like big Chungus memes, is asinine.
There's one of the greatest journalists of our time, that he's unbiased, a searcher for the truth. I'm here to tell you today that this is all a big lie. In my opinion, Tyler pushes hoaxes for truth, dehumanizes people for clicks and views, and manufactures fake videos to sell to hundreds of millions of people as hard-hitting journalism. In my opinion, Tyler only throws gasoline on the problems in America, all in the name to get clicks. And today we are going to expose who Tyler Oliveira really is. Because whether you're left-leaning, right-leaning, you like Tyler, you hate him, I think everyone can agree that a lie is bad. And when those lies are pushed to hundreds of millions of people as the unbiased truth, I would say there's a little bit more than just a problem. Now, normally I don't make exposed videos, but After me and Tyler got into a little Twitter spat, it led me down a rabbit hole of his content that I thought was so twisted and sick that I thought the entire world should know about it. And I'm so surprised that all of this stuff I'm going to talk about has never been mentioned before on. Now, I'm not going to talk about Tyler's drama with Soft White Underbelly, Brent Riviera, the Las Vegas Tunnel people. Everything in this video is newfound stuff that I've discovered over the past 4 or 5. So before we get going, Tyler, I am not trying to cancel you.
Dream of people come for the cancellation. Bring it. Please cancel me. Please.
I'm not trying to take you off the platform. I'm not even going to call you a racist, a Hitler, Tyler Oliveira.
I think when you start throwing around the R word, the conversation becomes a lot more difficult.
I'm just going to call you for what you really are, a liar.
Oh, racist.
So today, let's discover who Tyler Oliveira really is. Now, Tyler's journalism consists of him going into hot-button political situations, talking to both sides, and always coming to the conclusion that whatever city he's in, it's ending all of a sudden, that it's the worst place he's ever seen. Now, these videos are seen by hundreds of millions of people. People actually take these in for journalism. This is all just a facade. Now let's go to his video, Oakland, where every crime is legal. Now, this video consists of Tyler going to Oakland, California, talking all about—
like, even in the title alone, he's not speculating. He's obviously trying to paint a narrative that when you click on the video, this is a city where crime is legal. Like, if you really were this objective journalist, like, the title would be like, is crime legal in Oakland? Like, or I investigate Oakland, like shit like that, something that is open-minded. But it's clear, like, not just with this video, but there's plenty of videos out there where he's just like, you know, I went here and this is what's happening there. But, you know, I'm asking questions, getting the middle ground, but you're already painting a narrative in the title of your video.
the car break-ins and how they've gone up 50 million% or whatever it is.
This is Oakland, California.
The owner of this property is not responsible for any theft or vandalism. The owner of the property is not responsible for
Lawlessness, crime, homelessness, police giving.
And the whole video essentially boils down to, if you come to Oakland, your car will get broken. So just keep that in mind. Now, in the beginning of the video, we see Tyler at a gas station, and we can hear overhead this audio playing.
The owner of this property is not responsible for any theft or vandalism.
Now, if you're at a gas station and they're playing that overhead, it's got to be pretty bad with the car brake. So we see Tyler vlogging around, and then we see the next shot of this Kia. And if we look on the dash, you can see a PS5 with the PS5 controller. Why would someone leave a PS5 on their dash at the gas station where they're overhead playing? Your car is going to get broken in. But let's continue on. Now, in the next shot, we see the same Kia. And if we look on the dash, we can see that same PS5 controller. Now, why would Tyler be filming this? Maybe Tyler was trying to bait someone into breaking into this car. That seems like a crazy theory. How could we know that that's Tyler's car? Well, later on in this video, Tyler gets a parking ticket.
Police may not do anything if you break into someone's car, commit Grand Theft Auto, steal an ATM, or beat and rob an old lady on the street. If you park on the side of the street and don't pay the meter, you will be fined and punished.
We got a $61 parking.
He complains that, wow, people could break into cars and do drugs, but I get a parking ticket. Well, if you look at that parking ticket a little closer, oh, we could see it's the same license plate.
Yeah, I've already
that
seen
is on
like
the
part
car.
of this video, which is why I'm not surprised with this. Like, yeah, I already seen the part where it's just like, yeah, he lied. I haven't seen all of it, but this part, like, it honestly kind of surprised me, despite the fact that obviously, if you couldn't tell, I'm not a fan of Tyler. But like, to go this far to like fake your videos, I don't know. I don't think it should be that surprising. Again, this guy made like big chungus videos before this. Like, he's a schlocky YouTuber. He always has been. It shouldn't be surprising to me that he's wanted to do this.
Gas station. So Tyler went to the store, bought a PS5, put it on the dash, left his car out, and hid out in a little bush trying to capture someone breaking into his car. Tyler is baiting someone into breaking into his car to try to capture it on footage. Because what would make the ultimate footage for Tyler? Oh my god, I went to Oakland, California, and the break-ins are so bad that my car got broken into. And clearly, no one broke into it, because who would be dumb enough? Clearly looks like some like cop sting operation shit. This is like levels of like faking a prank video times 10. But when you're trying to pass this off as actually—
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Tyler Oliveira is like a former prankster. There was that one kid that was getting made fun of, that I made fun of too, who went like to Harvard to interview students there of who they were going to vote for. Like, in regards to Trump, like plenty of questions surrounding that. Who like the questions he would ask were very basic. You could tell he only like he was like a NPC in a video game. He only had like a certain amount of dialogue lines in his little tree. So like all of his questions were very basic, shit like that. It wasn't like he brought no value to that video. It was just the people he was interviewing, which is kind of basic for any like street interviewers, if we're gonna be honest. But it was like, if you were to look at his channel before he started doing like these political street interviews, he was just doing prank videos. Like, he was just doing what he thought. He was just a YouTuber who was doing what was popular at the time. So yeah, I'm not surprised if Tyler Oliveira is the same way, because again, it just feels like he's just someone who just puts out a bunch of schlock just because he's hoping it will get views, and he finally found something that got him to the top.
Footage on the ground journalism. I would say that's not something a truthful
yeah, Fox calling you an investigative journalist is it's very high praise.
journalist would do. And after catching this right here, it really made me think, could I seriously trust anything in Tyler's videos? Is this something that a investigative journalist would do? Leave a PS5 in one of the highest car breaking areas in the fucking country? I don't think so. Like, what the fuck? Like, and Tyler still used this footage. That's what blows my mind. And didn't think anyone would find this. Like, look at that. It is a PS5 combo package deal with the controller on the dash. How fucking dumb are you? Like, Tyler went to Best Buy and was considering like
yeah, that just literally smells like a setup. Like, even if someone wanted to break into it, they probably would have been like, that's just too obvious. It's on the why is it on the dashboard? Why? Do you want to have trouble like driving? Do you want to have trouble seeing the road? Why would you put it on the dashboard? It feels so fucking obvious that, like, if that was your end goal, it really just goes to show how smart he was. Where he was just like, no, we have to show it. I understand for like the shot why you would want that, but why not like just put it in the back seat or something afterwards? Like, again, when he shows like that shot from the back of the Kia, you can tell in the reflection from the windows it's still on the dash. So I guess his plan was just gonna be like, yeah, obviously people are gonna steal it from the dash. That doesn't look suspicious at all.
should I just get the PS5? No, I should get the PS5 and the controller. Someone would definitely break into a car for the controller as well. So throughout the rest of this video, just think about this is how far Tyler's willing to go to make a good
We've YouTubified traditional news and documentarian content, basically.
bought the controller. Why would you buy it? So let's go to Tyler's video.
Like, I wonder what he means by we
Now,
YouTubified traditional news. Like, how? Like, I don't, like, nothing he does is new. Again, there was that fucking Harvard kid who was doing this. I'm not sure if he was doing it beforehand, but like, street interviews are nothing new. There's nothing revolutionary about what Tyler is doing. Like, YouTube news channels have existed for a long time, like Sam Cedars' Majority Report, The Young Turks. There's plenty of, like, you know, right-wing accounts too, like Daily Wire, for instance. Even though it has its own platform now, it's still, you know, a YouTube thing. Like, that's still, like, you know, a media organization and puts out a lot of its media through YouTube. So, like, even regardless of, like, what he says, there's nothing new or innovative what he's doing.
Tyler's videos start out with him.
It's like Mr. B saying that, like, in a way, it's only innovative in the factor of, like, nobody has reached these amount of views before, but, like, even before Mr. Beast, people were still doing, like, crazy challenges. It's just that his production is just a lot bigger in sort of ways. But even that, I wouldn't necessarily, I don't know, I don't necessarily even agree with that take it bit, even though it's my own take, because at least that feels just mean to Mr. Beast. Because at least Mr. Beast puts in, you know, at least he has like a lot of people who put in a lot of effort. Like, I don't, like, it doesn't seem like Tyler really puts in that much effort to what he's doing at all. Feels like the only effort he puts into it is he goes on the trending tab of Twitter to see what's the big breaking news story, what's the big, you know, the big breaking news story of the day, and it's just like, we're gonna go to that place and just question a bunch of people.
To the place, checking it out, talking to both sides, and he'll intersperse news clips or relevant news footage of these events happening in that city.
With 1 of every 30 residents having their car stolen last year, a 38% in robberies, 23% increase in burglaries, and 44% increase in motor.
Because frankly, when Tyler goes to these places, it's not as bad as he always wants it to be. So by Tyler showing all these news clips, it could seem way worse than what it really. Now, Tyler is passing this along as actual information, that this is actually how the city. Now, these news clips are always from the city that Tyler's in, or are they? In this Oakland video, Tyler brings along this prestigious reporter, Darren Stalcup.
I met up with Bay Area native and investigative journalist Darren Stalcup to hit the streets and see what's really going on in Oakland.
Tyler shows clips of him going on Fox News, that he's been all around town investigating the homeless crisis within Oakland, California. Now, this guy isn't a journalist. He's actually a used car salesman who pulled a $7,000 GoFundMe scam a couple months earlier.
I talk a lot about right-wing grifters in my videos, but this week Fox hosted one that was so lazy. I'm honestly kind of impressed. This guy, Darren Mark Stallcup, is trying to raise $10,000 from the Tenderloin Go to another.
I'm currently looking at the Chinatown neighborhood, but I'm open to other districts as well.
And it's actually working. I looked into this guy a little more, and he has another GoFundMe also for $10,000, but this one is trying to achieve world. So either world peace is like a lot cheaper than I thought, or, and far more likely, he just wants $10,000.
But let's continue on. So the used car salesman's riding around with Tyler, and all of a sudden he brings up how he's seen kids as young as 7 years old walking around with guns in Oakland. Now that sounds pretty wild. Tyler then shows this news clip on.
I don't know why we're being followed. No doubt criminal activity left, right.
A lot of the kids have guns now, so when I'm walking around, I'm not looking for some 25-year-old guy with a gun. I'm
13-year-olds out here.
I'm looking for a 7-year-old.
So when the reporter brings up kids with guns in Oakland, Tyler intersplices a news clip of a teen in trouble that we're led to believe is from Oakland. Because frankly, Tyler doesn't see the kids with guns, so he's got to show news clips to prove that this is actually happening. But what if I was to tell you that this news clip he shows as evidence isn't...
It's like his, going back to his thumbnails that I mentioned earlier. There are just thumbnails of his that are obviously just like fake. Like with his Haitian migrants, which is brought up in this video as well. The thumbnail that has like, this black guy carrying cats, that never appears in the video. There's never any in most of his videos, there's never solid proof of these things that he says are happening outside of like some news clips. Like that's the thing. Like he spends a day in these cities that he says are very dangerous to be in, and then nothing happens on film, so he has to splice in footage that may or may not be from those cities. Like this is what he's probably gonna bring up here.
From Oakland, but from Miami, Florida, 2 years ago. But Tyler passes it off as this is what's happening in Oakland, even though we can't see the kids with guns.
Yeah, I wonder if Tyler has any videos about Florida. I feel like that would be, like content mined, but, probably wouldn't suit his narratives of being like, oh, all these Democrat cities are going to shit.
Or teen in trouble sounds really... But let's continue on. Maybe this is just a little mistake. So Tyler and Darren are talking to a business owner, and they bring up all of the machine guns that are in Oakland, and that's why crime is up. It is so horrible up there. Oakland is so bad that people have machine guns and they're walking around. Mind you, it's California. Like, the gun laws are insane. And then Tyler shows this clip. A scary black man with machine gun manhunt in the corner.
I believe it's necessary for law-abiding to have the means and capability to defend themselves. As you know, all the criminals out here have guns, so I have no problem with you. And I actually feel safer.
Machine guns?
And we're led to believe this is actually happening in Oakland. But this clip isn't from Oakland. It's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Once again, Tyler is literally making shit up to push a narrative. And this is in nearly every video Tyler released. Let's go to Tyler's video where he goes to Memphis, the most violent city in America. In the beginning, Tyler shows this clip of 2 scary black men robbing a car in a gas station, and we're led to believe it's from Memphis.
This is Memphis, the most violent city in America.
But it's not. It's from Chicago PD. And Tyler even goes out of his way to cut out the Chicago PD in the upper left-hand corner. So Tyler deliberately knew what he was doing. Now, normally I wouldn't really care about this type of thing, but Tyler is using all of these violent images and video to pass off a narrative that these places that he visits are so horrible. And it's really being used to just make up shit about the city. Because frankly, it's not as bad as he...
Yeah, it always seems weird that when it comes to like, oh, I visited this violent city, or like crime is legal here, all this like terrible shit, there's always black people in the thumbnail as being portrayed as like these violent thugs.
Wants it to be. And when you're at the point of having to use random news footage to sell off this narrative, I would say that's not really the unbiased truth or investigative journal. But it doesn't end there with Tyler. In his video, I investigated the gun violence capital of America, aka Chicago, Tyler shows this clip when the man's talking about petty theft in Chicago.
But all the crime down here is just like petty theft, breaking into cars, go to certain neighborhoods.
Now, petty theft is non-violent theft that is under $500. It isn't some burglary or mugging. But while this guy's talking about petty theft, Tyler then shows this to almost disprove the guy. Like, wow, he's talking about petty theft, but clearly there's 4 black men robbing a...
Or I think he's hoping that like his viewers just don't understand what the term petty theft means. so they just think it's this. Like, I think that might honestly be the case, because, like, I think Tyler is hoping that his audience is dumb enough that they don't really understand what the term petty theft is. Because there are plenty, I mean, look at, if you want proof that people can be very stupid and campaign for stuff that they don't understand, I mean, just look at, you know, Trump with tariffs. People don't know what the fuck tariffs are. You know, Trump supporters don't know, but they still support him, even though they think it's good because Trump says it's good, but they're not. So I honestly think that this isn't him trying to, you know, argue against this guy while not doing so with clips. I think it's more so like he's trying to conflate petty theft with, like, you know, armed robbery, because he's just hoping that his audience is stupid enough that they now think that petty theft is this, because they probably just don't know what petty theft is.
Car in the middle of Chicago. That sounds pretty wild. But once again, this clip isn't from Chicago. It's from Houston, Texas, 4 years ago. I can do this all day long. Tyler makes up shit to fit his narrative. And when that narrative is being used as unbiased truth or journalism, I would say that's pretty bad, in my opinion. But let's just continue on. Or let's go to Tyler's video. I investigated the murder capital of America, New Orleans. Now, Tyler's talking about living a life of crime, and he shows this clip on screen.
People die due to gun violence. With murders happening every day, countless kids are left without strong parental figures, get raised by the streets, live a life of crime, have a few...
Wow, a black man just shooting someone in the middle of the day? Oh my god, New Orleans is absolutely horrible. But that clip literally says it's from New York. That is how lazy Tyler is with this content. He is just
he didn't even try to edit that one out.
Violent imagery, putting it in his videos.
He's like, man, I've gotten away with it so much. I can just put the actual city's title in the video.
Sell it off as this is the truth.
Goal is simply to educate, inform, and entertain, and hopefully do all three at once. Or boots on the ground, as they say. Balls deep, trenches thick.
Is this really what a journalist would do? Let's go to Tyler's Sweden video. Sweden, inside the country that pays immigrants $34,000 to leave. Now in this video, Tyler's interviewing a Muslim activist. Tyler asked the question, is Islam's values maybe not compatible with Sweden?
Of Islam conflict with Swedish society and Swedish law?
And while the lady goes into Islam and all these other countries, but when Tyler goes to the part of her talking about Islam in Sweden, Tyler shows this video on screen.
The way someone see Islam in Afghanistan or in Somalia or in Iran or in Sweden is obviously different.
And we're led to believe, wow, while this lady is talking about Islam being peaceful, they are protesting, oh my god, and there's an ISIS flag. Clearly that isn't just a peaceful protest that they have ISIS flags in Sweden. But once again, this clip isn't from Sweden. It's from motherfucking Malaysia. And I could do this all goddamn day long. It's nearly in all of your videos. You are passing this off as the truth. Because frankly, when Tyler goes to these places, not as bad as he wants it to be.
Just trying to get likes on social media. So do you have some idea, or do you want to get detained for obstruction?
I mean, you can detain me, but am I under arrest? And if so, for what charges?
Harassment.
You're gonna arrest me right now?
Said you're being detained, sir.
Whoa. That's, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Are you going to identify yourself or not?
Okay, I'm on public property.
Are you going to identify
You can't strong arm me.
Yes or no?
We're going to court over this if you want.
And once again, I would just, let me be clear. Is this what a really thorough investigative journalist would do? Be so...
Okay, so while I was looking on my phone, I was looking at some of Tyler's older content, like some of his some of his oldest content, to see really where he got his start, because I made the joke earlier that he must have been a prank YouTuber at some point, and I mean, I wasn't wrong. I'm the boss's son prank, cops were called. That's his little first video. Then it's just like a bunch of like college videos, I guess. How I was rejected from every Ivy League school I applied to, fake celebrity prank at Walmart. You try like some Mr. Beast stuff. It's just like, oh, here we go. Actually sold Big Chungus to GameStop. Jesus Christ. Like, he's been doing this for a while. Like, this is like 5 years ago. And it's just like the most like clickbaity sort of content out there. And he wasn't getting, I mean, when he first started, he wasn't getting much. He was only getting like a couple of views. I mean, it definitely got up there. But, you know, he never really made a big name for himself until recently. Like, there was a couple of videos here where he's getting millions of views. Or at least 1 million. Like, I bought illegal video games. What else? I don't know. I mean, he was finding some success, but it was like the most bottom of the line, like brain rot sort of shit. And then, like, when did he start doing interviews? It has to be like very recently. Like, he was doing pretty well, but oh, here we go. So like over a year. Okay. Oh shit. I think I remember hearing about this. He did Brent Rivera called the, yeah, it's a video Brent Rivera called the cops on me. I think I've heard of this one before, honestly. So who knows? I probably knew about him for some time. I exposed the 7 most haunted places in America. I believe that was a part of it. I'm not sure. But then, yeah, then he starts doing this. I investigated Ohio's toxic wasteland. I investigated Hitler's death, in quotation marks. What the fuck? But yeah, then he just starts doing this shit. Jesus Christ.
So lazy with the content that they make that they're just throwing in random news clips of, as we've seen right now, only black guys committing crimes, all to amplify the video and make it seem as horrible as possible. Is that what a journalist would do? I don't think. Now, I know Tyler is intentionally doing this because I've backchecked a lot of his videos, and a lot of the news clips are from the city that Tyler's in. And these are just a few of the examples that I found. But trust me, it takes a hell of a lot of time trying to back source like where these news clips are from, especially when Tyler doesn't show the title or link any sources in his video. So this is just a few that I found. I can't even imagine how many more there are. Now, beyond using random news clips as actual evidence of all of these cities falling apart, what about the other lies Tyler has in his video? Now let's go to his one video. Tyler investigates the murder capital of the world, Jamaica. Now, Tyler makes it a point that it is so dangerous here. It's the murder capital of the world.
This is Jamaica, the murder capital of the world.
That's a big old night.
So he has to hire a local guide to protect him and show him around. Now, walking around the town, Tyler says this.
I'm going over the farm. The farm? The farm. That is that farm. Right over there. Yeah, we can go over there. Come.
While my guide was nowhere in sight, I first thought I was setting myself up to get robbed. But it turns out, this guy was giving me a full tour of the community with unexpected hospitality.
All right, visiting the garden right now. A little baby young mango. Is this where you make the juice?
So I'm thinking, oh my God, Tyler's gonna get murdered. Tyler's in the murder capital of the world without his guide. Oh my God, he's gonna die. He's gonna get robbed. Seems pretty bad. But let's watch this interaction from a different angle.
That's where you make the juice? Thank you.
Oh, okay. That's Tyler's cameraman. That's clearly the same thing going on. Where's this camera angle from? Oh, it's almost like his guide was right there and took this footage, but Tyler had to sell it off is that his guide was nowhere to be seen and that Tyler was gonna get murdered.
While my guide was nowhere in sight, I first thought I was setting myself up to get robbed.
Tyler's guide posted a 2-hour-long vlog of their entire day, and the guide was there the entire time. Tyler wasn't walking on his own about to get murdered. That was all just made up.
While my guide was nowhere in sight, I first thought I was setting myself up to get robbed.
And this is just something where it's so small. But why do you have to lie about this? I walked around on my own in the murder capital of the world. Like, really, Tyler's dissing the guy.
Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't know. Does he think that by saying that just means like, oh, I don't understand. Like, this would just dissuade anybody from thinking like this is like a murderous capital if like just going up to like some random farm, seemingly without your, like, I understand he's trying to paint a narrative by saying that, but it doesn't even feel like a good narrative if literally nothing happens to you. Like, nothing happens to Tyler in any of these videos so far, but he's still just like, yeah, these places are dangerous, man. Like, okay, you spent time there. You went all around these cities and nothing happened to you.
Horrible job, then disappeared. But he's right there.
Doesn't seem that dangerous.
There, filming this footage from a different angle. You were literally just making shit up to just sell a narrative. That this place is absolutely the most despicable thing you've ever seen. Now, if he's willing to lie about something so small, like to just really just amplify the violence and the crime in here, when he clearly doesn't see it around, what else would Tyler lie about? Now, later on in this video, Tyler's walking around Jamaica in a clearly peaceful looking town, and he's asking all of these people, how bad is the crime here? Am I gonna die if I walk around here? And clearly, no one's buying it.
You will die today?
No, not today.
Not today?
Not today. Today's
not what he wants to hear. He has to amplify the violence and the crime of where he's at. So while Tyler's looking around, he sees this truck and he says this.
So you're talking about, there's bullet holes on that side beryllium truck. That's the equivalent of one of the trucks in the US that carries the cash, which means that someone's probably planning to steal from it right now.
So there's bullet holes on the truck, and that means someone's planning to steal it right.
There's bullet holes on that.
Is there? It just seems like the paint is chipping off.
Which means that someone's probably planning to steal from it right now.
That's how bad it is. People are robbing the cars. They're robbing the bank cars. That's how bad. But let's look at that car a little bit close. Oh, wow. It looks like it was just kind of scratched. Now, I had to look in this a little bit more. The company that owns this is called Beryllium. And Beryllium just bought out a company called Guardsman. Guardsman, they're all based in Jamaica, has red truck. So would it really be that the car shot up with bullet holes and they're continuing to use it? Or that the car was red, they wrapped it black, and the car scraped against something, and now it's there? Why do you have to lie about that? Why do you have to make up this insane narrative? Oh my God, there was a robbery in place, and I was about... That didn't happen,
You could just tell he was desperate. He was like, oh my God, they're gonna steal it. They're gonna steal the truck. They're gonna steal it right now? Why does it have bullet holes, but people are gonna steal it right now? Like, even him trying to, like, drum up fear about being in the city sounds just so, like, forced.
In his videos, he goes around and preponders at the crime and all of horrible
You can see how desperate he is.
Is that really journalism? Is that really this unbiased truth that you tell? Like, these people in this video, the tour guide that you're with, he's just trying to live his life. He's trying to do better. But you come into his country and just absolutely shit on it for like 40 minutes. It's disgusting. I don't know how you could do that. In this guide, if you go on his YouTube...
Easy, you just don't have any morals. That's the thing. He just doesn't. Just no morals. He's just like, I just need those clicks and views. I mean, look at what he was posting before. Like, it wasn't heinous shit. But it's obvious that he's just, like, desperate for attention.
YouTube channel, all of the comments from underneath his video where he hung out with you, Tyler, for 2 hours are like, I don't trust this guy. This guy's a snake. This guy made our place look so bad. And the guide is like trying to defend. He's like, no, Tyler's actually a good guy. He helped me get these subscribers and stuff. And it's like, that's so disgusting that you're making this guy subtly, you know, you're not asking him to defend you, but essentially he's wanting to defend you because you did give him a little bit of clout. When you come into his country and just shit on it for 40 minutes. But it doesn't end there. Later on in this video, Tyler is walking around the street of all of the escorts, ladies of the nights walking around. And then Tyler sees this restaurant, and Tyler says this.
A lot of prostitutes out here. This is one of the hotels you used to get brought to have sex with the customers, the Johns. It is called the Pirate Ship Seafood Restaurant, I guess front, or restaurant by day, hell at night. A little bit
what the fuck?
Inconspicuous at first glance, but in actuality, banged it there for $15 US.
So Tyler just walking around, sees this restaurant and sees that the lights are on and assumes that, oh my God, that's where all the people are getting fucked in there, man. It's just fucking grimy. It's a brothel. It's the dirtiest place you've ever seen. Yeah, that's where it's happening at. Tyler.
I don't understand how people are fooled by this guy into thinking like all these places are dangerous or like have these like crime rates or like there's like secret brothels in the restaurant. Like, it just sounds so fucking stupid. It literally just sounds like he's just looking at what's in front of him and he's like, that's a bad thing. No more investigation needs to be done. Like, does he show any proof? Or, yeah, like he says, it looks like he literally just saw it and was like, that's a brothel. Because all the prostitutes are here, and that place has a light open. That's a brothel.
This is a Christian catering restaurant that does weddings. Why the fuck would you just make up a lie about this? For what? Like, what is the story that you're trying to tell? Oh, how shitty it is? I don't think you have to disparage a Christian catering restaurant for wedding and say it's a brothel. And the dumbest part about this is like, you know, Tyler makes like two things. He's like, one, it's a brothel. Two, it's an actual restaurant. And then it's a brothel at night. Like, you can't just say like, oh, maybe it's true. Maybe
so it doesn't even get the restaurant fact right. So it's not like an actual restaurant. It's just a catering place. So he's not even right on the front that it's an actual restaurant.
Which we're going to go into that later. That's a whole other can of worms. Either way, in that situation, it's a brothel. But you don't know that, Tyler. The thing is like, this is in a country where they're trying to rebuild. And you're just shitting on the people there for no reason. I'm surprised the guy didn't stop you and say, what the fuck are you talking about? You're literally just making this shit up. Why would you do this, Tyler? Oh, because you're trying to get clicks and views by making whatever area you're in the shittiest place ever.
You're informing people about current events, topics that the broader public needs to be aware of. And I don't even think we necessarily stand for something besides the search for truth and putting things out there on both sides, even if one of the...
What value do you think going to Jamaica to be like, look how shitty it is here? Do you think that adds value to everyday life? Do you honestly think that like helps people in any sort of way when it comes to like, I don't know, grocery prices? Like, do some investigation on that. Like, why are grocery prices so high? That would be some investigating That would be some investigative journalism. Be like, does anyone know exactly why grocery prices are high? Let me do some investigating on that. No, you just go to a random country, a random city, and it's like, look how bad stuff is here. Do you think that changes anybody's everyday life? No.
Besides, it's controversial or pisses someone off.
So let's go later on in this video. Now,
if anything, he's just a shitty travel blogger.
Tyler's talked transsexual prostitutes and asking them all about the business, and you can see his guide right there. And then all of a sudden, two black guys rob.
Nowhere, two armed muggers came over to rob me and my cameraman and barely spared us, only after recognizing Jamaica walk by as he yelled "Bumbleclat" in the distance. They told us to turn the cameras off. Instead of robbing us, they agreed to be interviewed if we brought them some cash.
Seems pretty scary. So these thugs let Tyler go withdraw cash from the ATM. They literally let them get in their car and go withdraw cash, and then come back to the spot.
We're basically being extorted right now in real time to where we have to go get some cash, or we run the risk of Fabian getting murdered and killed on the day for counting them. So get robbed.
In defense of the tour guide, I honestly feel like he thinks this is a joke. Like, in defense of the tour guide, I wouldn't be surprised if he just thinks that this guy's just joking. Like, if he honestly thinks that he's just not being serious. Because, like, he's saying all this ridiculous shit.
So two guys that robbed you at knife point let you get in your car to go drive to the ATM while they stayed there, and then you come back with about $150.
Like, even when he says that, when he's just like, oh, we gotta go get money or he's gonna get murdered. Why would the guy who's seemingly gonna get murdered just laugh? Why would he just laugh? Being like, does he not know that he can cut stuff out of his videos? I don't know. I mean, his videos are, very edited. Does he not have any sort of self-awareness of like, hey, maybe him laughing when you mention that he might get murdered when that's obviously not the case would be, off-putting to some viewers?
And convince them to do an interview on camera when you're holding a $3,000 camera that you're filming all of this with. Who's gonna believe this, bro? Who would believe this?
Some people do, unfortunately. Some people are dumb enough.
That really, you convinced the robbers to give you an interview. Yeah, Tyler, I'm convinced that some guy with a beer gut and a dulled off kitchen knife is, oh my God, they're gonna kill you. Tyler, if you really thought they were gonna kill you, wouldn't you just drive away? Why would you go to the ATM and then come back to try to get an interview? Like, what the fuck are you thinking, dude?
That just looks bad on him if that's true. To be like, yeah, they gave us a chance to like drive off and never come back, and we still did anyways.
Tyler even makes it a point to say, we didn't set this up. We didn't plan this.
So we have to get some cash right now because we spent all of our money interviewing prostitutes. Not because we prearranged this, but because they were going to mug us.
Why would you say that?
I love the pause game on these videos so far.
If you really were getting robbed at knife point, I don't know if you would go like this.
Whoa. That's a big old knife.
I'm getting robbed in 4K, bro. Oh, look at your gun.
Yeah, imagine like you get robbed and they pull out a gun and you're just like, whoa, that's a pretty cool gun.
Your knife, how big it is, bro. There's no way that actually happened. Now, for this one, I don't have any hard evidence of this being fake, but considering that Tyler's willing to fabricate footage and just make up shit in his videos, I wouldn't put it past him to maybe fabricate this entire situation. But what about what Tyler doesn't tell you in his videos? That could be a little bit important too. Now, Tyler put out this video, I investigated if George Bush did 9/11.
What the fuck?
Fucking insane topic, but let's get into it. Now, Tyler says he meets up with a first responder on 9/11.
What if I talk to a first responder on 9/11 who was the New York Fire Commissioner? Let me introduce Chris Joya.
And we're led to believe, wow, this guy fought the fires on 9/11, but now he believes it was actually bombed, that it wasn't the planes. That guy sounds like he has a lot of credibility.
So it's impossible for a building to collapse near free fall speed and increase
without a controlled demolition.
But Tyler leaves out a couple little details. This guy isn't a firefighter. He's a construction worker who volunteered on 9/11. He's a volunteer firefighter.
Didn't you literally say he was like the fire commissioner?
Tyler says,
that's like that's not just like a small lie, that's a big one too. Like he was like, no, this was a higher up. And he's like, no, he was just kind of there.
He was there on 9/11.
But what if I talk to a first responder on 9/11?
The guy literally says he wasn't there until 4 days after.
We're on site that day.
Oh my God, like dude, I don't understand how Tyler's channel isn't nuked to exist, like just nuked at this point. Like I don't know, I shouldn't be surprised that, like, you know, a social media platform, even one like YouTube, would allow misinformation to just spread widely on this. I mean, there's a reason why like Tim Pool still has a YouTube channel. They just care about the money. I mean, again, this guy got millions of views off this video. It's disgusting.
I was working across the river doing my construction job, and then the fire department got called to duty to assist. Within a couple of days, we wound up down at ground.
But this is just small potatoes. Now, during this video, the man talks about the bombing, how they did it, but he doesn't reveal who did it, which would be a little bit important. Now, the man brings up these people did it.
People that did it don't even care.
Who would these people be? While Tyler doesn't say in the video, nor does Chris Goya, we could go online to this man's organization, the Architects and Engineers for 9/11.
Jesus Christ.
They currently have a federal lawsuit for believing that 5 dancing Israelis blew up the World Trade Center.
Yeah, okay, never mind. Oh, were they dancing off the rooftop? Oh no.
But Tyler just leaves this information out, because clearly if we knew this guy believed Israel blew up the World Trade Center, we probably wouldn't take him seriously. But I mean, it's all good. It's all in the name of just a little bit of clicks and views, a fun little conspiracy video. And Tyler is so insidious in this video because he's literally leading you 99% of the conspiracy theory, but that 1% of who did it, Tyler doesn't say. So for someone that gets invested in this, you're gonna go all the way through, and then if you just go on, you could find out yourself. 5 dancing Israelis, the lawsuit is still happening. But what other details does Tyler leave out? Let's go to his video. I investigated the city where you legally must own a gun.
That's me turning myself into the police in Kennesaw, Georgia, where every head of household by law must own a gun. But does everyone here actually own a gun?
Now Tyler drives down to the town and says, I want to visit the antique store that has the law in writing.
After hearing from the people, I drove downtown to an antique store to see if I could find the law in writing.
So Tyler goes to the antique store, he sees the law in writing, he's talking with the shop owner, they go outside and smoke a cigarette, and then Tyler purchases a bag of assault rocks and a bunch of other items. So much stuff that Tyler needed a bag from this.
It's like very obviously like a Confederate store. Like you can tell by the flags, the fact that they had a sign that was literally White History Year.
So-called antique store. But Tyler fails to mention some other items this antique store sells. Niglint repellent, a Niglint scout, minstrel show outfit, and a rack of KKK uniforms worn by ex-members. These are actual photos from inside the store. This isn't a antique store. This is a KKK memorabilia shop that Tyler passed off as a antique shop. Now, do you think supporting a store like this might come off as maybe a little bit racist? A store that literally sells
like, it's one thing to have like a sign that literally says like White History Year and Confederate flags, but when they're selling this
glint repellent,
what the fuck?
I would say a little bit so. But Tyler specifically leaves this detail out because he knows it's
like
bad.
Straight up KKK costumes, not even costumes, like uniforms is what they sell. Jesus.
I mean, hell, he bought so much stuff from this place that he needed a bag to take out everything he bought. I mean, it's just a grand old time at the cake store, right? He even shows a little freedom flag playing over the shop owner. So the lady running the KKK store is now all of a sudden a freedom fighter with some shitty green screen American flag. Tyler, good job. Good job, buddy. Now, am I saying this is race? No, but you could think for yourself. But the saga of the store doesn't end
Definitely,
there.
I mean, I wouldn't say so, but it's very misleading to be like, just look at this little cute antique store. Like, yeah, it's a bit conservative leaning, but you know, it's just an antique store.
Now, in Tyler's next video, he interviewed the most racist man in America.
It's Harrison, Arkansas, and this is the headquarters of the KKK, causing the widespread rumor that Harrison is the most racist town in America. What would happen if me, a white guy, came down asking the same questions? Could I infiltrate the KKK and will closet
I guess he was like
racist
referencing Gideon's video that he did of going down. I believe this is the same town.
More open to sharing their beliefs with me.
Now Tyler drives down to the town and he tries to find this guy who's been in 20 other videos who has like KKK connections. Now Tyler finds the man, sits down with him, and they're talking all about how much he hates black people and so on and so forth. And in the middle of the video, Tyler pulls out a...
Dude, he doesn't have a chin. Like, how can you think that like black people are inferior to you when you don't even have a chin? Fucking Master Oolong looking ass. Oh my god. Just nothing there. It's mouth, then neck. Mouth, then neck. That's it.
A little gift for the man. Now, Tyler said this man just appeared out of nowhere, that he wasn't planning on meeting.
Oh, honestly, we were headed to the KKK. I had no intention to meet.
Sure.
But he just had this gift ready to go. And that gift was the bag of assault rocks that he bought from the KKK store and gifted it to the most racist man in America.
Automatic assault rocks. That's kind of funny, right?
Oh, yes.
Do you really think supporting a KKK store and then gifting it to the most racist man in America is a great idea, Tyler? Like, what
Jesus Christ.
are you thinking? And Tyler was so proud of this moment that he took a picture with him and he posted it on Instagram and Twitter and even used 2 separate pictures when he made those posts. And Tyler left this little fact out because he knew it would come across as bad. That he went into a KKK store, bought this rocks, and then gave it to the most racist man in America. Now, am I saying this is racist? But you gotta ask, where does Tyler get some of these jokes?
Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I just want to say fuck Andrew Callahan, but like, the thing that made it very disappointing to learn about what, you know, Andrew Callahan did was the fact that, like, he essentially did what Tyler Oliveira is doing right now, which is really funny when you think about, like, when Tyler Oliveira was being like, you know, we're re-innovating the game or something like that. Like, Andrew Callahan did what Tyler is doing right now, but like way better. But even he realized, like, doing all this dumb shit, he did it in a way that was, you know, very objective. And I think there was a clip of him recently when it came to like the Asian stuff where he was just like, I'm not gonna go there just to fuel like this brain rot discussion that's not real. But that's what Tyler Oliveira does, but he's also like so stupid in doing it and just blatantly like just very biased while trying to come off as objective.
Jokes from. Let's
It
go to
fucking
this one
sucks.
video. Inside the country that pays immigrants $34,000 a leave. Now this whole video is about Muslims invading Sweden, and Tyler at the end of the video says this.
Should be asking ourselves, what is a society and culture willing to sacrifice of itself to accommodate those it welcomes? And is a kebab stand in every street worth sacrificing a entire culture?
Okay, like that's just straight up racist. That's just straight up racist. Being like, oh yeah, if a Muslim like, what other way are you supposed to like take that? Even though they're more than likely, even though I haven't seen that video, I wouldn't be surprised that there's like lovely Muslim people in that video as well that he speaks to. But no, he just refers to them as a kebab stand.
And alongside in the thumbnail, Tyler has the word kebab right in the background. Now when Tyler equates an entire ethnicity of people to a kebab stand, kebab, that's a reference to the popular meme, remove kebab, which if you don't know, is about the Bosnian military when they genocided 7,500 Muslims and made a song called Remove Kebab. And this song was played as the New Zealand church Christ shooter shot up 51 Muslims in 2 different mosques, and even called himself the kebab remover. So I don't know if equating an entire ethnicity of people to a kebab stand.
Is a kebab stand in every street?
That, in all fairness, that could be a stretch, but even still, like, it doesn't, you know, help Tyler all that much, because like him stating, like, you know, him equating these Muslim people just to a kebab stand is disgusting.
Worth sacrificing a entire culture.
Maybe comes off as a little bit racist. This is like saying, is a 7-Eleven stand in every street corner worth sacrificing an entire country's culture? When I'm talking about Indian people. Tyler, that is a straight up dog whistle. Calling people, is it worth the kebab stand? Like, what the
I mean, yeah,
or what
it's just
about
plain
in
old
Tyler's
racist.
other videos? In this one, Tyler investigates the Venezuelan gangs invading Colorado. Now, inside, Tyler is in this apartment building, and clearly it's like falling apart. And he hears a smoke.
Oh, yeah, I think this is like the video that I remember hearing like Tyler Oliveira from. Like, this was the one that I think popped off like when it came to that whole situation where people really started to notice him. At least, I don't know. That was like the first time I've heard of him. Even though apparently he was in a drama with Brett Rivera that I heard about, but I didn't even know this was the same guy.
Smoke alarm chirp in the background, and Tyler says this.
Broken multiple times. You can hear the fire alarm that hasn't been changed. That's a meme.
Well, Tyler, where is that meme from?
Oh no.
Oh, it's from 4chan, right here. New dog whistle just
He
dropped.
looks like a
It
4chan
also is a
user.
reference to memes like
He really
this.
does.
Wow, that is some racist ass. Now, the meme is basically that black people don't change their smoke alarms and that they're scared. Would a real journalist bring up a insanely racist meme, and that when Tyler heard the smoke alarm chirp, that clearly meant that black people live inside of the building? It's all a big meme, bro. Now to Tyler, this
He has that
apparently is
4chan
hilarious,
face.
but let's see what else makes
I don't know
Tyler
how to
laugh.
describe it, but he
people that
has a 4chan face.
Talking to have never had a random YouTuber in a blue jacket show up to them with a microphone and ask them their feelings or thoughts on anything. No one cares about these people's opinions except when we come out of nowhere and give them an opportunity to speak and share thoughts, ideas, beliefs that they've been waiting their whole lives to share.
Yeah?
Black people apparently love to shoot other black people.
Going to business out here?
Yeah, chicken and watermelon.
And where did the name come from? Because it's kind of funny.
The road, you fucking sand monkey. I say to him.
Got an automatic assault rocks.
riveting commentary.
Yeah.
Great.
Now, beyond the funny memes and funny edits, Tyler loves to bring up the hard-hitting journalism, the real questions that people are dying. Now, I want to bring up another YouTube journalist that does a way better job than what Tyler does. His name is Tommy G, and Tommy G is interviewing some pimps and prostitutes on the street. Now, just to get an idea, pimping is human trafficking. If you don't believe so, go read Iceberg Slim's book and you'll find out that it is the most horrible shit out there. And while Tommy G is talking to them, he brings up this.
See yourself on the balance of good and evil.
Straight good. Ain't no evil in me, you feel me? Everything I'm doing is out the kindness of my heart. I'm trying to make sure everybody that is part of me, I play my part and we smooth.
You're pimping out of the kindness of your heart?
For surely.
Does that sound like an absurd statement to make?
Absolutely not.
Wow.
Like right there, that few those few seconds, that is more adversarial commentary than Tyler ever puts into his videos, unless, you know, the person's just like not a racist. But even then, like, he comes off as a bitch, to be honest. Tyler does. Now, I don't know who Tommy G is, I really don't, but like in these few seconds have been more entertaining because there's at least some adversarial element to it than anything that Tyler adds to his videos.
So Tommy's actually pushing back on what people are saying.
Yeah.
It's almost like Tommy G actually has a spine. Maybe he has some conviction in what he believes. But now I want to show you the hard-hitting questions that Tyler asks when he's talking to
Yeah, it seems like
pimps.
he's actually trying to, you know, get to the source of what's happening and not just asking people standard questions and then lying.
A literal human trafficker.
Do you pull out?
Well, you know one thing about it, man. Hey, man.
Jesus Christ.
Do you pull out? That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the hard-hitting journalism that's needed in the world. Do pimps pull out? Literally, you are talking to a human trafficker, and the first thing you think of is
pull out.
And to Tyler, it's really just a big joke. Plays the funny pimp music in the background, and oh, look at the pimp, he's got the funny glasses, and oh, do you pull out, bro? Like, Tyler isn't taking this shit seriously. Tommy G is. Actually hitting them with hard questions, pushing back on what they say. Because Tommy actually cares about the content
I don't know Tommy G personally, but in my opinion, he approaches his suspects, which is always great.
It's out. Really looking for that.
It's like the bare minimum you should do is treat the subjects that you are covering with respect and not just, you know, trying to get some views.
Journalistic truth. But in Tyler's eyes, that question is, do you pull out? Like, what the Now, one of the worst things, I think, is when Tyler went to the USA-Mexico border and investigated migrant crisis. Now, Tyler goes to the border, he talks to both sides. Basically, the video is about how when people claim asylum in the United States, they go into these migrant detention camps where there's no food and water, and they stay there for about a week at a time because the Border Patrol system is so backed up. And he even talks to the locals who say that
we're just locals over here together to deal with this historic moment. Border Patrol detention sites in our area, not providing food, water, shelter, or anything. So we've been coming in and filling.
Literally, they have had to give these people food and water because the government does. People have died out here in these camps, just waiting to get processed by Border Patrol.
You think people would be dying if not for the help you guys have provided?
Most certainly, yes.
Yeah?
Okay. Actually, 2 people have died.
But Tyler rolls upon one camp that was empty earlier and now is full. And when Border Patrol comes to process these people...
I'm gonna see if I can get processed. Try to get my ID, though.
Are you part of this group?
Sí. Ahora.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, I'm gonna be processed.
And Tyler takes up the spot of one of the asylees and tries to get processed by Border Patrol, all as a big fucking joke. Like, what the fuck are you thinking, Tyler? Literally, you took up the spot of someone that was an actual person fleeing their lives as a fucking meme. What the actual fuck are you thinking? You know the Border Patrol system is backed up for years, and you're just adding on to that for no reason at all. And Tyler was so proud of this that he put it in all of his promo for this video, all over TikTok and Instagram. Oh, I pretended to be an asylee and then get processed. Like, this is the most elitist fucking rich kid shit I've ever seen. This is fucking disgusting. And the fact that no one has called you out on this fucking blows my mind. Now, the Border Patrol guards do catch on with Tyler. They clearly see he's like a YouTuber and they kick him out of the bus. But what the fuck are you thinking? Would a journalist really pretend to be an asylee fleeing their lives, trying to get processed by Border Patrol, all as a big joke? I don't fucking think so. Now, Tyler's thumbnails have always been a big
Christ. Like, I don't know. Like, there's other ways you could go. I mean, it is just a big joke, because if he was like a true journalist, there's plenty of different avenues he could go to like, you know, see what's really going on. But it seems like he's just really there just to make everything a big joke and to make himself the center of attention and just spew whatever narrative he knows is going to get him more clicks, which is usually one out of hate and fear that's built on lies.
Peak point for him. People have always said they're sensationalist, they have guns and violence and flames, and it's just these crazy thumbnails that aren't actually from the video that he's filming.
A YouTube thumbnail is a compressed combination of symbols that allow a viewer to know what they're going to be watching as soon as humanly possible. Sometimes they do offend people, and I get it. I genuinely do get it. It's something we're kind of working on, but the videos are often redemptive stories of these people, and the coverage is as balanced as possible on both sides. That's something we strive for.
And I just had this thought. I feel like Tyler's thumbnails are what he wants the city that he visits to be. I mean, let's take example for a Sweden video. Now, when Tyler goes there, it seems pretty peaceful. You know, everyone's talking to him on the streets, everything seems pretty fine, but if you look at the thumbnail, you would get a completely different image. We have this guy with a Gucci bag, and he's all Gucci'd out. We have Swedish flags on the ground burning up. We have people with masks on robbing people in the middle of the street. But Tyler doesn't actually see that at all in the video. But the thumbnail is what he wishes the video would be. Let's go to his George Floyd video. Now, when Tyler goes there, he obviously sees like the George Floyd shrine, he's talking to people on the streets, but what Tyler wanted that video to be was he wanted to see a bunch of cops praying down the George Floyd, but clearly he didn't see that. I mean, even in his video about the cat eating Haitian. Now, Tyler doesn't ever run into someone holding cats and they're running around and there's flames in the background. He never sees that at all in the video. But Tyler in the thumbnail, he presents there's smoke and there's flames and there's cats running around. Black guys just holding cats, but he never sees it. And one thing I thought about in the thumbnails is like most journalists, I don't think would make a random image of stuff they have never even seen or never even proven to have been seen and present that in the thumbnail is almost as if it's truth. Now, Tyler's thumbnails come a lot from that whole Mr. Beastified type thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, these type of thumbnails would be fine for like a prank video, like a Brent Riviera video. I had my sister date 100 guys, and then you have 100 ugly guys that are all lined up. But in the video, we never really see that. It's almost like a big caricature of what the video is. And for a video like that, where it's almost like a prank video, typical YouTuber,
yeah, like it's
essentially,
you know, when it comes to like silly stuff like that, like yeah, it's clickbait. It's stupid, but you know, who cares? It's just like a harmless challenge. But when you're just like, when you're talking about like real human beings and narratives that can hurt people, that have the possibility to possibly lead to violence, and with some of these narratives, like the Haitians thing, there were literally like armed groups who were in whatever town of Ohio that whole controversy was taking place in. You need to be, you can't, try to sell this narrative in your thumbnails when like the stuff that happens in your video never really matches up with that. Like again, I think I talked about this during the first half, but like it feels like his thumbnails are literally just him trying to reinforce this narrative that he wants out there so bad, despite the fact that his videos for the most part don't reflect that.
Fake in the video, that isn't a big problem. But when you're trying to present videos as like actual investigative journalism, like this is what's happening, Tyler never actually sees this stuff going on, but he's always highlighting, he's always making the extreme end of it. And these thumbnails are just the idea of what Tyler wants these cities to be. And I think that really lines up with how he edits the videos, how he uses fake evidence and footage, all in the name to present this fake narrative. And yeah, I'm like crazy sick right now. I just thought that was interesting, so let's continue. Now, to end this video off, I want to go over Tyler's worst video. Inside the Ohio town invaded by cat-eating Haitian. Now, when Tyler put this out, it got a ton of press. All over Twitter, all over YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and this video got 47.6 million views across all platforms online. Now, while this video got a ton of good press from people online saying that this is proof they're eating the cat, it also got a ton
what great praise from InfoWars
of criticism online. And when Tyler responded to all of this criticism, Tyler said that that video that he made, this video we're going to talk about right here, it was
so fucking garbage. Like, the video I made, like, reacting to it, I could barely get through half of it because it was just straight up fucking nonsense and, like, stupid. Because I knew there was more to it that we didn't get to when I first watched the video. But, like, just from that first half, it was very obvious what he was trying to get across and, his attitude towards certain people in the video, where it was just like, I can't watch any more of this.
About the Haitians eating the cats. No. It was about a...
Because, like, every black person he went to, he was very, like, he was very, like, dead-faced, trying to ask about, do you eat cats? But then with like every white person who gave him flimsy evidence, he would take it for like a fact and be like, oh really? Oh yeah, like that's the truth? And just let them say obscene shit. Like there was one girl who he might get to where her evidence was literally that her mom, like I'm not sure if it was her mom or her mom's friend who saw a Facebook post of cats in a white van with a black man in it, and it turned out to be AI. Like, that's it.
Demography shift.
It's interesting that in Springfield, the whole they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs is not a conversation point here, nor have I brought that up. Censorship, and also, I understand that at the end of the day, and even at the core of that video, that's not what it's about. It's about demography shift.
Well,
what?
Let's see how many times Tyler asked the questions, do Haitians eat the cats?
Haitian immigrants flooded into town with rumors of them eating the neighbor's cats. Haitians are eating cats. Are these Haitians eating cats? Haitians are taking neighbor's cats.
What the fuck?
The Haitians are eating the neighbor's cat. Neighbor's cat. Haitians eating the neighbor's cats. Haitians taking cats. Are cats? Haitians are kidnapping the neighbor's cats and eating them.
Again, no cat eating.
Cats are getting kidnapped. Is that
Yes,
true?
Yes, my mom actually seen a post on Facebook.
Yeah, that was her mom. This was the woman. That was the woman I was referring to. She saw a post on Facebook.
I've heard rumors about them taking the geese and killing them.
I wouldn't be surprised though, because we used to have a lot of cats around here.
¿Es cierto que personas comen los gatos o no? Bonjour.
You got a cat right beside.
Well, I've seen a video of a guy getting a Canadian goose, a Haitian dude.
We've lost a whole.
Yeah, and the same thing about that too is that was just someone who was like there to do their job and remove the yeast because they weren't supposed to be there. From what I remember hearing about that, like some people try to make it out like it was just some random dude, but apparently that dude was just doing his job. Like the yeast weren't supposed to be there or something. I think it was like an environmental group or something.
Whole bunch of cats. There was a van pulled over that had over 100 cats in it with the Haitians. They said they was eating them.
Actually?
Yeah.
Not fake news.
Not fake news.
I understand that at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, that was the guy who in the video said, I'm almost 50, man. I don't have time to josh around.
And even at the core of that video, that's
It's
not
like, what great evidence.
what it's about. It's about demography.
So the video that isn't about eating the cats has the thumbnail, do you eat the cats? Hundreds of cats all in the background, inside the Ohio town invaded by cat-eating Haitians. You literally
Yeah,
ask
he was like,
everyone
I'm just
in
there
the
to,
video, are the
I'm just there to have a conversation.
Haitians eating the cats?
Definitely not asking them if they eat cats or not. Just the
Yeah, I would say
conversation.
that's what the video's about, Tyler. Now, Tyler loves to try to slime his way away from any criticism he receives, but this video was about Haitians eating cats. And you might ask, well, is that a rumor based on anything true? Now, in the beginning of the video, Tyler shows his evidence of the Haitians eating the cat.
Oh yeah, it was like a woman having a mental health episode, and it wasn't even in Springfield. I believe it was in Canton, Ohio. It wasn't in Springfield, but I don't know. The rumors just kind of like swirled around, and eventually Trump brought it up.
See this body cam footage from a police officer and this lady eating a cat.
Rumors of them eating the neighbor's cats and local geese.
What did you do? Why'd you kill the cat? Did you eat that cat?
Now, you would think that, oh wow, the lady's black, seems like, okay, she must be Haitian. Oh, okay, so the Haitians are eating the cat. But this clip is of an American citizen that was literally on a psychotic breakdown that ate a cat. But Tyler is passing this off as the Haitians are eating the cats, and this is the evidence. But then Tyler shows another clip. Now, the rumor then turned into, are the Haitians also eating the goose? So Tyler then shows this picture of a black man that we see walking with two geese.
Well, I've seen a video of a guy getting a Canadian goose, a Haitian dude.
And we're thinking, wow, okay, so because the man's black, okay, he's Haitian, and then he has two geese, okay, so it has to be Haitians eating the geese now, too. But this image was also debunked. This was an American citizen picking up roadkill on the side of the road, and someone snapped the picture and spread false misinformation. Now, this whole video is based around Tyler just asking.
Let's read the little snippet a bit.
Listen.
Okay, the Ohio Division of Wildlife tells TMZ the real deal behind the viral pic. Okay, so he was an employee. So, okay, I got that wrong. The guy was actually picking up two geese that were hit in a Columbus car accident. And by the way, that's 45 minutes. Okay, so it wasn't even true. Yeah, it's just, so I don't know. I mean, the guy could have been a part of the Division of Wildlife. It doesn't say that he was an employee or not. But that doesn't mean, he was eating it. It's just, getting the dead carcass out of the way.
Picking up roadkill on the side of the road, and someone snapped a picture and spread false misinformation. Now, this whole video is based around Tyler just asking questions, or the Haitians eating the cats, with no evidence to back it up. Now, this is a common tactic used by conspiracy theorists. So Tyler, let me ask you a question. I heard your mom was sucking some dong for 50 bucks at the bar, and I had a good friend of mine tell me that they saw her in the car sucking some dong. Is that true, Tyler? Does your mom suck dong for 50 bucks? I can tell you an insane conspiracy theory based on no evidence, presented as
I
a
like
question,
this guy. He's
and
funny.
it almost gives it some validity.
Aliens built the pyramids? Do you think it's possible George Bush did 9/11?
What the fuck?
Oh, who are you afraid of at night?
Men.
Which men? Men in general?
Oh my
or
God.
types of men?
I remember this. I believe he went to Poland and talked to someone. This was like, it was insane, but yeah, they were literally harassing these women. Like, the guy behind him right over here is like literally like a politician in Poland. It was insane. They were just harassing these two women just to try to make them say some racist shit. But even then, they're just like, yeah, we don't like being around, you know, guys, just any kind of guy at night.
I'm from different places.
He's just like, please be racist.
If he was black, would you guys date? Bonjour.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
You speak English, French?
How disrespectful is that?
You had a kid who was 5 years old and they said, Daddy, I'm a guy, but I think I'm a girl. What would you say? How does it feel to facilitate more deaths via secondhand obesity?
You are trespassing. Leave my building now. Leave the building now.
Okay.
I mean, if you answer, you tell me what.
No, I'm just asking.
And Tyler knows that. But if you were to push me back on that, like, bro, my mom doesn't suck dong for 50 bucks. Oh, well, I'm just asking a question, man. Don't get mad at me. That's what Tyler's doing here. Because this whole thing of Tyler asking people if the Haitians eat the cats, let's think about another equivalent. This is like going up to Asian people point blank and saying, I heard on Twitter that Asian people are eating dogs. Is that true? Tyler doesn't have any social brain to maybe think, maybe that might not be an appropriate question to ask. Why?
I don't think he cares, honestly. Like I said before, he has that 4chan face. I think he's just a 4chan Reddit user who was just like, you know, previously in his YouTube career was just trying anything and everything to get noticed. And then it just stumbled upon political interviews and he was just like, well, I'm just gonna be racist as possible.
Why did no one else make this video on YouTube? Maybe because it's a little bit racist. Now, Andrew Callahan, Channel 5, he runs another channel that Tyler essentially ripped off from and made into his own thing. Does the same thing. He goes boots on the ground, does journalism. And Andrew even made it a point to say that he would not be coming to Springfield to ask people about the Haitians eating the cats.
By the time I wrapped up my report in Colorado, the front lines of the migrant hysteria crisis had already shifted fronts, from Aurora over to Springfield, Ohio, where Trump and J.D. Vance...
Yeah, this is what I was referring to earlier, is that, like, again, you know, Andrew, he's not a good guy. There was a lot of allegations that came out against him, I believe, last year. And, no, I don't support the guy, but at the end of the day, I think, like, when it comes down to the type of journalism that he does it really well, again. So fuck the guy. But even a guy like this still has more integrity, like journalist integrity, than Tyler Oliveira will probably ever have.
Vance claimed that Haitians were eating cats.
They're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats.
A claim that was debunked by the mayor, the state, and basically everybody else. After the presidential debates, my inbox was flooded by emails saying that
J.D. Vance literally admitted that they made these stories up.
Channel 5 should go there.
On air. On air. He was like, if I had to make up stories to get people talking, then I'm gonna do that. And they're just like, you just said you made up these stories.
But guess what? I'm not going. I'm not going to follow every shitty thing that Trump says about migrants across the country and feed the algorithm they've created.
If that was the case, he would probably have to spend like millions on travel tickets.
By lying.
But Tyler doesn't care because he knew he...
Like, he'll go on a plane, get to the place that Trump was talking about, and then Trump is talking about another place right when he has arrived, and he's like, shit, gotta get another ticket.
...was gonna get mad views on this. And he clearly did. 47.6 million views. Now, this video is a whole can of worms in terms of the whole just asking questions things. And what's really like annoying about all this is that it could only take Tyler a minute to spread misinformation, but it takes an hour to debunk. Now, I'm not gonna go through this entire video and all the little details about it, but essentially this whole just asking questions things, this is in nearly all of Tyler's videos, and the Springfield video is the creme de la creme of. And like, it's one thing to let people speak about what they think when you ask them a question to make themselves look dumb, but when Tyler doesn't push back on anything they say, It's almost like he's kind of not co-signing, but almost like, okay, there is some evidence to this, but there's absolute none.
Haitians in a white van driving around the neighborhoods collecting cats.
For what?
Skinning them and eating them.
A van was collecting cats and eating them.
I watched it happen, yeah. Watched them get pulled over with the cats and admit to the police that they was eating them.
You're not joshing with me.
No, I'm almost 50 years old, buddy. I don't know.
He's almost 50 years old. I'm not joshing you.
A real journalist would push back on what these people say. And people talk about, oh my God, I saw the police, the cats in the van and everything. Tyler could have gone down to the police station and gotten the police report if this guy was for real. But Tyler didn't, because he just wants to take this guy's rumor and just spread it on as actual. And Tyler knows that if he ever gets pushed on this, he could always go back to the whole, I'm just asking questions. But Tyler doesn't care about fixing the problems that he so often shows the world, because the dollar at the end of the day is Tyler's goal. And his incentive is to highlight and throw gasoline and incentivize as many of these problems as possible, because it gets Tyler. This video took about 4 months to make, and I only went through a few of his videos. Now, there are so many videos that are based in the same format online that I think a lot more debunking needs to be done. A lot more of this just misinformation, hoaxes, and just made up shit needs to be taken down, because it is so harmful to our platform. If we're really trying to have actual truth-seeking journalism, really try to show that, because everything I've showed you today is anything but that. And I would just ask you one last time, is all of this stuff in this video something a real journalist would do? Thank you for watching.
I mean, no, it's not. That's like nothing that he does in any of his videos is really like real journalism at all. It's just clickbait shit. It's all it is. He's no better than, you know, a Mr. Beast copycat channel. He really isn't. Not even Mr. Beast himself. Like, Mr. Beast at least puts effort into his videos, or at least he has a team that puts a lot of efforts into his videos. Well, at least now, like he did some crazy shit during the beginning of his YouTube career that he did himself, but like Tyler Oliveira doesn't really put all that much effort. He doesn't. He just goes to random place that is being talked about a lot, you know, asks the most basic questions ever, does a bunch of like propaganda for right-wingers, and then tries to act like an objective journalist because of it while doing the bare minimum. That's about it. I mean, it's no surprise here, you know, like everything that he pointed out, like there were a few instances that I didn't know about, like that seafood restaurant that he tried to pass along as like a hotel that prostitutes go to. That was crazy. But yeah, I think that's all that really needs to be said. Like, again, he's just a piece of shit who just is desperate for views and is willing to do anything for it. You know, he's not that different from a lot of shitty YouTubers, unfortunately. Yeah, that's about it.